You know what? This month was strangely easy, like no stress, no overthinking, kind of easy. And I didn't realize how much I actually needed a break from bold and colorful makeup until it just happened. Hi, welcome to the Art Up, and today I want to share with you my third update for Project No Pan Left Behind, where I have to use every pan from a randomly chosen palette at least once a month. And let me tell you, this month was just a breath of fresh air. I rolled That's Taupe from ColourPop and Mini Retro from Natasha Denona. And these palettes just got me. No drama, no how do I make it wearable. These palettes practically did the job for me. And here is already my very first insight. I forgot how long I have been ignoring this eyeshadow palette. It was completely overshadowed by my other palettes, and when I pulled it out, man, I forgot how good it is, how easy it is. Even those pinks and greens look extremely intimidated. It is super wearable, like Monday morning meeting wearable. So without further ado, let's dive into all the looks. So the very first look is completely done with Natasha Denona Mini Retro. I used Pixie all over the lid, vintage taupe in the crease, a bit of Galaxia to catch the light, and 60s as a liner, and also industrial on the lower lash line. This look was created by following Natasha Denona tutorial, I'll give you the link below, and it was meant to go from day to light, like soft pinks for the day makeup and sparkly greens for the evening, and I really enjoyed it. Also, the soft pink version I wore a lot to work, and it looked very easy and very work appropriate. But the only thing that I would love to tweak in this palette is to make sure that this shade is leaning more pink than peachy. And while we're talking about things I would love to change is, I don't know, like in my palette, the hinge completely broke and the lid fall off. And this also happened to my other Natasha Denona palette. So let me know, is it me who is clumsy or is it the problem of packaging? For look number 2, I wanted to dive into those greens from Natasha Denona palette. So I used 2 different greens on the lid, popped snake eyes on the lower lash line, and blended python into the crease. And wow, the kickback. There was so much kickback. I don't know, maybe that's because my eyeshadows are pretty old, but definitely do your eyes first before the base. And also, I just forgot how much I love industrial. It has this smoky green-gray base with the prettiest silver sparkles scattered across it. It is like moody, but in a good way. Now, I know that pinks and greens usually do not play nicely on your eyes. They can turn muddy very fast. But in this palette, somehow they work. Maybe that's because of the undertones. But as for me, Mini Retro has the most interesting color story among all Natasha Denona mini palettes. What do you think? Do you agree? Or do you think it has a very good competitor? Let me know. That soft green smoky eye used to be my go-to. It is easy, it is fast, it is wearable, and it is super sparkly. Now this one. Right here is my new favorite look that I have created with both of these palettes. And if you want to recreate any of looks, try this one. Here's how I created it. I started with Sephora eye pencil in the shade Rex as a base liner. Then I smudged it just a little bit and then set it with 60s. I packed slated all over the lid, used boa in the crease and blended industrial right in the space between the liner and the lid to soften everything out. And the end result is Chef's Kiss. Smoky, a little bit sultry, but yet very soft. Like it has the vibe of a very bold look, but still not going there. Like not going full glam. I wore this look to a lunch with my friend and I got so many compliments I lost the count of. What makes this look so special is that it flirts with intensity without crossing the line. What I mean is, very often my darker eye looks get into raccoon territory very fast, like panda eyes. No offense to any pandas. But this one never goes there. It's just the kind of look that I personally want to recreate again and again. So I loved snake eyes from look number 2 so much that I ended up creating a go-to everyday look with it. Super wearable, office friendly, and just easy. I put snake eyes all over the lid, python in the crease, cold-blooded on the lower lash line, and that's it, just done in minutes. And I swear, I used only one brush for the whole look. Speaking about brushes, I learned that using dense, fluffy, synthetic brush works the best for these eyeshadows. Maybe that's because they are like harder pressed, but whenever you use something flimsier, it's very hard to pick up the product. But when you have something dense, something synthetic, something fluffy, a little bit of windshield motions, you get a lot of color payoff and pretty good blend. Now for something a little bit more sultry. I played with Halo Eye. That's not my go-to eye look because honestly, I don't think if it actually suits me, but in this look, I think it worked very nice. I used Rocksteady, which is more of a grayish tone on both the inner and outer corners. Then I packed slated right in the middle of the lid and used a mix of Pebble Beach and Python in the crease to pull everything together. On the lower lash line, I smudged a bit of cold-blooded and constrictor for that added depth. Now, with that being said, I think that Rocksteady did lack a little bit in intensity, so I layered it with Bedrock. So even though I've just complained on how sheer that color is, I think in some looks it actually worked very well as a blending shade, which was very surprising for me. And once again, that look I just created with one brush. This is how easy it is. Here is my final look. It is done completely with ColourPop That's Taupe. I use all the shades except Snake Eyes, and I have a mixture of Pebble Beach and Python in my crease. Overall, I would say that it was surprisingly easy and enjoyable to reach for these two combos. Like every time I sat down to do my makeup, my hand reached for it like easily. I think the word of this video will be easy. And the way how effortless the using of these two eyeshadow was brought me thinking that maybe I should consider them for panning my eyeshadow next year, but maybe I'm also going too far ahead of myself. But once again, it was so easy. I can create a very nice everyday look and something also like evening and sparkly appropriate, and that would make my panning life so much more stress-free. And this is what your panning project should be all about, making sure that all the projects are easy to use. So why not to use these two? I mean, I know that ColourPop eyeshadows are notoriously hard to hit pan on or use up, but if I just aim for hitting pan, it should be quite doable. What do you think? Have you ever tried panning ColourPop eyeshadows? Let me know how it went, because I'm already getting too ambitious. Okay, I start rambling too much. Let's move to the second part of our video where we're going to spin the wheel of Tiny Decision app and see what is the next palette that I'm going to work for during the next months. The last time I didn't have any distinct desire, any distinct palette in mind, but this time I would love to go for something more colorful. That break really helped me. I would love the palette from Nomad, the Paradise Island, or maybe something from Pat McGrath. Let's see what we will get. It was so close to Elf New Classic, which is a great palette, but I don't want to wear it in summer. So we got Nomad, Paradise Island. Give me a second, I'll show you the palette. So here is the palette. I'm going to have so much fun playing with it, especially all those greens and blues. Definitely Paradise Island. So thank you so much for spending your time with me. If you have any suggestions on some kind of looks, let me know in the comment section below. I'm really excited and looking forward to all the looks that I'm going to create for the next months. Once again, thank you so much and see you next time. Bye!